Checkpoint is presented by GM Pharma, the first international multinational pharmaceutical company in Georgia. GM Pharma, to serve those who need it most.
The International Chamber of Commerce, ICC, has launched a new Center of Entrepreneurship in Tbilisi, Georgia, to support the business environment for entrepreneurs and small and medium-sized businesses, SMEs in the country and across the Central Asia and Caucasus region. The new Center of Entrepreneurship will work with various stakeholders in Georgia and the wider Caucasus region, including local business organizations and academic institutions, to support entrepreneurs and accelerate the transition of small businesses and startups into cross-border commerce by providing high-impact training, digital platforms, and market opportunities. Over 50 Georgian business leaders and international representatives joined ICC Secretary General John Denton and ICC Georgia Chairman Fady Asly in officially launching the Tbilisi hub of the ICC Centre of Entrepreneurship at an event held in the country's capital.
International Chamber of Commerce and ICC Georgia launched a Center of Entrepreneurship hub in Georgia, which will cover the region, Caucasus region and Central Asia. The aim of this project and platform is to support the business environment, to improve the business environment for small and medium businesses and entrepreneurs and startups. The Center of Entrepreneurship will tightly work with stakeholders, academic institutions, and local organizations to support and accelerate the smooth transition of the small and medium businesses into cross-border commerce by providing professional high-impact trainings, access to digital platform and market opportunities. And we do believe that this center will turn Georgia into regional hub to become efficient tool for developing the skills of new generation, to help them better understand how business works and equip them with all necessary information so that they succeed and contribute to the prosperity of their countries.
As you just heard, the center is thought to play a very important role in strengthening and improving the startup and business ecosystem in Georgia, where SMEs represent more than 90% of businesses, thereby stimulating economic growth and the creation of job opportunities. Through the center, youth and aspiring entrepreneurs will also be able to gain knowledge and acquire new skills as ICC aims to shape and inspire the future generation of business leaders. Director and Head of Transformation at International Chamber of Commerce headquarters, David Antia, will be personally involved in setting up the center in Georgia. Expert in corporate strategy, organizational transformation, business and operating model re-engineering, performance improvement, change management and project delivery, David Antia has the background in strategy and operational management, consulting in two big fours, EY and Deloitte, across 5 industries, international organizations, financial services, asset management, pharmaceuticals and telecommunications, and more than 10 countries. Antia left Georgia with the family when he was just 14. The Checkpoints had a chance to talk to the professional face-to-face.
I'm originally from Georgia. I was 14 when the family moved and migrated to Ireland. I spent the first couple of years in my professional career working for various management consulting firms. And this is where I kind of built my transformation expertise. Then we moved to London, so we've been living in London over the last 5 years. Recently, I've joined the International Chamber of Commerce to also help the organization to transform so that we can maximize our impact on the business sector. I love my country, so I always look for opportunities to travel back when I can and to also provide some value for the country when I can.
How does Georgia fit into that picture?
Yes, so in Georgia, we have just recently launched this new initiative called Centers of Entrepreneurship, which will look at helping Georgian small and medium-sized enterprises to get access to international markets. We will do it by basically doing 3 things. Number 1 is to build capacity and capabilities to coach them on how to go about international trade. So anything from designing scalable, agile business models to special, to building digital marketing capabilities, to understanding how to better understand compliance requirements and comply with different regulations. We'll coach them basically on how to go about successfully following international expansion strategy. We will also provide access to finance so that Georgian SMEs can basically finance their international ambition. And number 3, we will give them access to network, which is quite difficult for local businesses, given when you're looking to do international trade, you need access to distributors, local partners, international customers, and it can be quite difficult to get access to. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to link, so this is the 12th center that we have launched. We're going to connect all these 12 centers so that it's going to create a large network, as you can imagine. But also as the institutional voice of 45 million businesses, we have access to the largest business network, and we will try to tap into that to give Georgian SMEs again access to this wealth of network. The idea is then across these 3 different pillars, so from building capabilities to providing access to finance to providing access to network, we will make it easier for Georgian SMEs to get access to international trade and therefore increase their participation, which will increase their productivity and will have a very positive effect on the overall Georgian economy.
Is it part of the overall global strategy of ICC to focus more on MSME sector and startups? And why do you view Georgia as a regional hub? Because this will be the center for Caucasus and Central Asia as well.
Yes, that's a very good question. So in the last few years, we became very focused on also representing SMEs around the world. SMEs are backbone of the global economy. They employ over 90% of all people in the world, and they obviously, have a significant role to play in the global GDP development. So they play a very significant role in the world as a result, and they were traditionally underrepresented and on international affairs. So we decided to become the voice of SMEs as well. So a lot of programs we've been running in the last few years have been focused on building capacity of SMEs, but also representing them in all the decision-making forums. Now, the Centers of Entrepreneurship is a unique program, as I mentioned earlier, that will build SMEs access to international markets by building their capabilities, giving them access to network, and also giving them access to finance. And we've launched Centers of Entrepreneurship already in 11 different markets. Georgia is our 12th market. And the reason why we've come to Georgia is basically 2 key reasons. Number 1, although they're a vital part of Georgian economy, they employ over 62% of people in Georgia, they contribute over 53% to Georgian GDP. So although they're a vital player and they're the backbone of Georgian economy as well, they are not as active on international stage as they could be. So less than 10% of Georgian SMEs are actually engaged in international trade, which means they're not as productive as they could be, which means they are also not able to have as much impact on employment and Georgian economy as they could. So number 1 is to really enable them to access international trade, to maximize their potential, increase their productivity and their impact on Georgia as a country. But the second factor is Georgia's strategic location and the potential the country has to become the regional leader in innovation and entrepreneurship for Caucasian countries, potentially for Central Asia. So by setting up the Centers of Entrepreneurship from Georgia, what we're hoping to do is not only support Georgian SMEs, but also to support SMEs in the region and develop the whole ecosystem around this region through Georgia.
And also, what are some of the needs of the MSME sector and startups in Georgia? What do you see on the surface? Let's say, because I know that you will be conducting and you will be mapping this needs for Georgia specifically.
As you just said, the focus for us over the next few weeks will be to really study Georgian ecosystem in detail to really understand and analyze the needs of Georgian SMEs. And then we'll design a program that will be tailored to the needs of Georgian SMEs. But what we've seen in other centers, so to just draw lessons from some of the other locations, from some of the other developing countries where SMEs require help is that most of the time they require help around these three pillars that I mentioned earlier. Usually a lot of SMEs don't know how to go about international expansion, so they don't have the experience needed and knowledge needed on how to go about it. So basically, usually our training programs are tailored to upskill SMEs and give them that knowledge that is required to go engage in cross-border commerce. So there's going to be a training component, but it will very much be tailored to the needs of Georgian SMEs. Again, we've seen another trend around the world where, again, SMEs struggle to get access to the network of partners, distributors, clients, all that. So we usually, again, the trend shows, our analysis from other locations shows that a lot of SMEs will need help with the network. So our assumption is that this will apply to Georgian SMEs as well. But again, we will see what the discovery and research shows us. And then third will most likely be around access to finance, so that, again, we can finance their expanding ambition. So we have some assumptions. We have, based on our initial research, we think we need to design the program around these three key pillars, but the further analysis will show exactly how to tailor it.
Yes, so something tells me this won't be our last interview. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you for having me.
The Checkpoint is presented by GM Pharma, the first international multinational pharmaceutical company in Georgia. GM Pharma, to serve those who need it most.